Here we are, and I can share my screen. Perfect. So in a nutshell, let me turn on my camera too. I should probably do that. Can't figure it out.
All good.
I did. Okay. So POP is the next generation of the salt loader. And what we're trying to do with POP right now is we're removing everything from all of, there's so much. So sorry, I'll be a little
Yeah,
scatterbrained.
sure.
But one of the advantages of POP is it's a new programming paradigm that makes it easier to make pluggable software. So for example, we can isolate large chunks of salt into isolated projects. So we can have Salt Cloud as just its own repo. We can have Azure Cloud as its own repo. And what I'm working on here is Pop Darwin, which is just the execution modules, states, and grains associated with Mac.
Okay.
And there's also a Pop Windows and a Pop Linux. And the Pop Linux is probably the most complicated one because then there also needs to be a subcategory for every different distro. But then the goal is just to get, by the time we get to Sodium, we're trying to have all grains from salt that are associated just with Mac isolated into their own repo, which is what I shared with you. That was the Pop Darwin. Right now, the only execution module I have is command.run. But then the advantage with this is with POP and with isolating all of the Mac stuff into its own project is now when there's a change to Mac, or it can be released on its own schedule, and it's very easy to extend. I wanted to show you that real quick.
Sorry, can you go back like a minute and a half?
Oh, because you cut out?
Yeah. I was like, did I cut out? Did he cut out? I'm like, yeah, I think
what was the last thing I said?
You think you said that there was there's like a Windows Pop as well, so like pretty far back.
Pop Windows, Pop Linux, and the Pop Linux is going to be more complicated because then we have to extend it to be Pop Debian, Pop Ubuntu, and do it for every distro. But for Mac, it's going to be a lot more simple because it's just, as far as I understand. But right now, I just have, for execution modules, I just have the command.run module because it's necessary to collect some grains.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I should have all of the grains that are necessary for Mac, I believe. But the goal is that by the Sodium release in 4 months or so, that we'll be able to have grains completely isolated from salt. So that way grains they're easier to extend, and it's
oh, sweet.
Yeah. And it's easier to maintain because instead of having core.py where we have tons of if-else statements and you're not sure where each grain is being collected.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Going back through like trying to debug a grain once was that was an adventure.
It's insane. But yeah. And I kind of wanted to bring this up with you guys as the Mac working group because, well, you should know that this exists.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this is neat.
If this is going to be how grains is changed in the future, then it's like you don't want to spin your wheels debugging grains in salt when Sodium comes out. This is the way grains will work in Mac, and so this is the way to look at it.
Okay. So what are we? So we're looking at the command mod .py. How? Yeah, I guess so just doing like if you do like a salt call -- grains, it'll just automatically use POP.
Yeah. So one of the grains you'll notice over here, looking on the right side, is this cowsay grain.
Yeah, love it.
Sure. But So if I put some links in the Zoom over here. How do I get to the meeting? For how you could get this running. How do I get back to the meeting so I can see the chat? There
Maybe
we
go towards the bottom. Yeah, I don't really see anything in the chat right now, or unless you did it in the Slack.
No, but I can do it in the Slack. I thought I posted in the Zoom room chat. Oh, but I left the chat and came back, and it was before everyone else joined.
Gotcha.
Oh, but I pasted it in a link to myself. Perfect. So where's the in the Slack to myself is where I was sending things, where I keep notes about arbitrary MacOS. Oh, that was only one of them. I wanted all of this. Just ignore everything else that you see. Pretend it doesn't exist. It's me being silliness.
Later,
Okay.
I'll ask you about that Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, I wanted to write an extension to Harry Potter and the Methods of Rationality. And so I was
Nice.
taking notes to myself about what that was going to look like. So if you run these commands, the first one installs pop. The second one installs corn because grains was taken on PyPy, so we just called it corn because popcorn was going to be taken by someone eventually.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then the last one installs pop Darwin. And then after you do that, you should have the corn command available. And that will give you a superset of what grains currently gives you on Mac.
Okay. Which pip do you use for that? Is that like the pip that comes with salt?
It must be Python 3. But
okay.
Other than that, it doesn't matter. You could, yeah. It should work in your salt environment. It doesn't.
Okay, yeah,
on
I didn't know
Windows.
if this was something you needed to do in the salt environment or not. So
it's probably best to do it in a clean environment, but if that's too complicated, you can try it in salt. You know, for me, I just do everything with my system Python.
What where you want to? Yeah, you're on a Mac right now. So, but
yeah.
Oh, the old Xcode Python 3.
So if I run those here, you have the corn command, and it gives you all these grains. And some things it's like,
can you run that again? Sorry, I missed it.
The corn? Oh, I just typed corn.
Oh, okay.
Once I installed those things, and you should have it too. And let me know if there are any errors because I won't. That's kind of another reason to show this to Mac Working Group is you all know how things work under the hood for Mac.
Sure. Yeah, no, this is something I can definitely check out.
And I found that some grains exist for Linux, but didn't for Mac or weren't fully functional for Mac. So I've been trying to make sure that the grains on Mac are exactly identical to what you would see on Linux or Windows.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's scary.
Like the IP interfaces exist on Mac, but the gateway one or.
Yeah, that all looks, I mean, the Cowsay is really the only one that looks new.
Oh, good.
I hope that ships in core.
No, the reason I did the Cowsay one is because that's a separate project on PyPy. You can pip install corn Cowsay, and now you have the Cowsay grain. So the point of doing that is to show how easy it is to extend grains.
Sweet.
And if we have a minute, I can show you how to do that from scratch. Or
yeah, man, go for it. I mean, there's nobody else from the working group here. Everyone's pretty much busy, so yeah, go for it.
Okay, so you can follow along if you want, but we're gonna do just a quick hello world with grains. Because yeah, if someone wants to add a Cowsay grain, they can do that without having to wait for salts to release or waiting for it to get in. They can put it up on PyPy and put it in a requirements.txt, and now they have it without waiting for salts to release. That's the advantage of Pop.
Okay. I see. So you're basically taking, this is like a a better community like module type
Oh yeah,
thing versus getting everything into core.
exactly.
Ah, sick. Okay. And this
And
is going
for
to be available for
this is all open
uh
source.
yeah, is in execution modules and state modules will work for this too?
We're slowly porting them over. It's my goal to have services and file and package management by the end of Sodium release and
Dope.
grains.
That'd be awesome. Um yeah,
But
if you're doing like the macOS service stuff, like let me know because like there's some things that I really want to fix that I'm like,
oh,
man, this
I
needs
like
like a whole
fixing things.
rewriting. Yeah, it's there's I think this will be way better to like just start from scratch in here almost
Pretty much.
and get going with it.
I'll definitely pick your brain when I get to service. First,
Yeah,
I'm going to be doing package across all Linux and Windows. That'll take me a while, but
sure.
service will be after that, before file. Oh yeah. So one thing to know about pop is every function has this hub variable.
Okay.
And the hub is kind of like a global self that gets passed around to everything inside of a pop project. And so
Okay.
everything exists in the namespace. That's why when I pip install corn cowsay, it looks and it finds the same hub and it extends that same namespace. So that's why I just need to pip install corn cowsay, and now pop Darwin has access to the cowsay grain.
Okay.
So now if I wanted to make a completely new project, I would do pop seed. If you installed pop from the first git command, then now you have access to a command called pop seed. -tv, and that just says I want to vertical merge. It means I want to extend a project that is already existing. And I want to extend the corn project. Oh, and I have to name it. We'll name it something Hello World Project, or just hello. Cool. Oh, I did not want to do a tree in there. cd hello tree. There. So it created the structure for a project for me with a bare minimum.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I have a const.py, and inside the const.py, might as well, hello, no. Oh, my bad. I should have created a directory first because it created it. Some of those files are now in this directory, the setup.py and the corn.py. Oh, yeah, my bad. I need to make a new directory for my project, cd into it, and now my pop seed. There we go. Now I have a setup.py and a
Nice.
toml and a couple other things. That's nice. So the conf.py, because every project, when you start a new Python project, you make a new command line interface. Everyone implements that their own way. But
okay.
With this, we can do it a very Pythonic way. I can say I want a new command line argument that is foo, and it will have option, and then all that goes into this dictionary is what you would normally put into argparse, like.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right, -o. Foo. Now if I do Python run.py, oh, I don't have run.py because this is a vertical merge project. Anyway, that's the way in pop, that's how you add command line options. We've already standardized like prioritizing command line arguments over environment variables over defaults. Like all that is all built in. And I already have logging. I can do corn help, and I have all these logging things built in. I don't have to redo it for every new Python project I make.
Oh, sweet.
And if you want corn, or if you're doing a project for Mac that is completely separate from salt, you can still take advantage of grains in salt and import just that into your project.
Sweet.
If you ever wanted Mac grains somewhere else. Anyway, that's a tangent. So the next thing we'll do is inside of this hello, I have a corn folder because I said that I was extending corn.
Mhm.
And it's empty. So I can just create an arbitrary file inside an arbitrary directory. It's just for organization so that people know, like, these are my, over here I had it separated into, these are hardware, network, OS, system, and they have
Yeah, that
arbitrary
looks
file
reasonable.
names. Yeah, so if you want to edit a grain, you can easily find out where it is. And there's one grain per function that's loaded. So it's a lot easier to understand. When, like we mentioned earlier, going through core.py, trying to debug what is going on in grains, it's insane.
Oh,
But here it's
absolutely.
just, the file structure keeps it organized and it doesn't matter what order they're loaded in. Okay, so I do have my corn command still, right? Cool. So now I'm going to create a new file, foo.py. I love foo, great name. And because for pop, Python 3.6 is the lowest version it'll work with. So we're making full use of async. So I'll say async def load hello world. And then I give it the hub as the first argument because it's passed just like self. Then I'll say hub.corn dot whatever my new grain is. Hello equals hello world. And then I just do corn hello, see if it worked. Oh no, it didn't. Oh. I also have to add my project to the Python path. So I can pip install it, or I can manually add it to the environment variable. And I'm using my system Python because YOLO. That is taking a lot longer. Cool, corn, hello. And I get not a hello world that I was expecting. Dang. What's the problem with a live example? Hello, corn, foo.py. What am I missing? Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, hey man, all good. If anything, this is good because I might run into it later.
Gareth, do you notice anything I might be doing wrong? Now that you're in here?
Yeah, sorry. Is it? Do you have to do like, because you're doing just corn hello? Isn't it like corn get hello?
No, I'm assigning a new corn, creating a new one.
Oh, so after the capital corn, that name there is the key name.
Yes, it's all namespaced. You could also use it like a dictionary, and it will work the same way.
Oh, okay. So that's what you were doing in your other code.
Right over here when I'm assigning corn.corn.host equals this.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Because
I was trying to figure out how that worked.
Namespaces are a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's actually another feature of the corns, since we're here. So over here, my corn runs. I wonder if it's going to give me the hello corn when I run it over here. That'll be interesting. Why is it taking forever to run? Ooh. It didn't give me hello. I like PyCharm. I know some people are purists that like Vim, but that's just
Yeah. No.
the way I
Hey.
do.
I mean, I just use VS Code, so whatever.
Oh. I wonder if this will give me access to hello. And now I have, no, that didn't do it either. That'll be some debugging for me later. But another feature of this is if I try to assign a grain in two separate places, the grains are immutable once they've been written, is the way we've
Okay.
done this. And so are ops. You can't write to ops without stuff blowing up. So right here, if I tried to set the OS grain, which was set somewhere else, and I run my code, it's going to blow up and say, by the way, OS was actually previously assigned by load interfaces in this function.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So someone can't come in. If someone extends your project, they can't overwrite your grains. They'll have to think of a new name for the grain.
Gotcha. And if you want to like fix the, or if you want to like make changes to the grain, you don't really overwrite it. You just actually fix the core grain.
Exactly.
Cool. I like
That's something that's really annoying that happens. Yeah, but I can rewrite like this grain that exists right here. I can overwrite it as many times as I want, as long as I'm in the same function that originally assigned it.
Okay. Yeah,
blow
sure.
up on
Makes
me.
sense.
Yeah. So anyway, that's pop Darwin. And that's pop. Oh, and if I wanted to run an exec module, a quick example of that. Because in Salt, there's like command.run ret code and command.run all and command.everything.
Oh yeah.
So for this, we decided it's a lot simpler. We only really need one.
Yep.
Let the user figure out
beautiful.
how to sanitize their
Yeah.
output.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And it's asynchronous, which is nice too.
Yeah.
Using async IO subprocess. Yeah, because why do we need command.run ret code? Just give everyone the same thing.
I don't know how many times I have to go to the documentation. I'm like, wait, so which one do I want?
Exactly. And the code gets messy because it's like command.run, but this is the way Windows does it, and it needs its own sanitization of the arguments. But this way, once it works on Mac, we don't need to care about another OS breaking it. And because it's in GitLab, we can say we're only running Mac tests on the Mac stuff.
Awesome.
These modules and states are only relevant to Mac, so yeah, we don't care about the Windows tests failing when you need a PR merged. Anyway.
Pop is, that's not specific to Salt?
No, Pop is it was created by Tom, but it's just a new programming paradigm.
Gotcha.
And there's the whole story behind why that exists, but it's not something, it came out, like it was made open source in November, but it's something Tom's been working for a long time. And the Salt loader is kind of like the first iteration of it. And there are so many rewrites of the Salt loader that Tom has done to try and get it work better and better. And then this is like the final, like, this is what it was meant to be.
Oh, yeah.
Is Pop.
Oh, this is the plugin oriented programming.
Yes.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
You've heard so much about.
Yes. Cool. This is fun to see it in action.
So instead of passing around a dunder salt, here I can just say await hub.exec.command.run. I am not passing around any dunder salts. I'm not passing around dunder grains. Everything exists on the hub's namespace.
Sweet.
So grains is loaded first, but grains also has access to command.run without doing any janky magic.
Yeah.
And it would also have access to any other execution modules that it might need. Because it's all asynchronous.
This is sweet.
Yeah. So that's the end goal. I was hoping some people from the Mac working group could run this locally and to make sure that it works for them, because some quirks, like it doesn't seem like Mac has the IP command. That's a Linux thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
what
the route command doesn't work the same on Mac as it does on other OSs.
Yeah. I'm not like super familiar with like the network related stuff, but I mean, definitely feel free to like ask in the MacOS group.
Okay. And that's where I wanted to come to the Mac working group first to give a context for why Tyler's asking this question about.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, this is super cool. I really like this.
It's not crazy. No Rotten Tomatoes.
No, 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 no.
That's what Tom's
Uh,
worried about every time we present on Pop. Is like, is everyone gonna be like, oh no?
yeah, no, I like it. This is sweet.
And then the end goal is that we'll maintain the core things that are necessary for Salt, but then like we can have a separate repo for Pop Red Hat or Pop SUSE, and SUSE could own that and release it on their own without needing to wait for Salt's release. Or that
Yeah.
could go for any distro. That's just my go-to arbitrary example.
Yeah, no,
And eventually it's like, this will be
like
part
it.
of the Mac working group is like, yeah, what exec modules are core to Pop Darwin and what should be something that someone else maintains. That's what we'd want.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, this is neat. I'm excited to, well, that's just more work to do, but rewriting a bunch of our already like custom bits for Pop. But
yeah, but the idea is that it's less work in the long run. Where
oh yeah,
a
100%.
year from now, you're needing an exec module to be merged in. You can have it instantly without waiting for a release.
So does that mean that I'm trying to figure out like how this would work later? Does that mean we're gonna have to have like say I already have Salt installed on like a bunch of systems, I'm gonna have to run like pip install on.
Oh no, this won't replace Salt. Salt will continue working forever the way it does.
Oh yeah. But if I
that's
wanted
where
to
you're
like
going.
use this,
like to
I
have
mean,
a Salt
like,
minion using Pop.
yeah.
That is still under works. For now, we need the
Okay.
core. We need grains and things working first, but
Sure.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that'll be whatever the element is after Sodium. The next release is when we'll probably be looking at minions and masters. Well, there already is a Salt master on Pop actually, but
Okay. Sweet.
yeah, that's it. That's all I have to show. Unless you have any questions, rebuttals.
Not right now. Not until I, start messing around with it. But no, this is neat.
Did you try running it?
No,
Those
not yet.
Okay. Well, let me know when
Yeah.
you do, because I'm excited to see if it works on every system. Because I'm not sure like what commands I've done, like if options change between Mac versions. Because I'm not that familiar with Mac. How much it changes.
I don't think not really much of anything in the grains has changed between macOS versions over the past, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years, at least however long I've been using Salt. So.
Oh, there is one one new grain. Let's see. Code name. This one didn't exist as far as I saw. The code name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard to get from the system.
Yeah, but I looked on official app website and it's like, if it's up to this version, it's Catalina. If it's like, if it's between these versions, it's Catalina. If it's between these two, it's Mojave.
Yep. No, 100%.
That's what it seemed like.
We were trying to find, a bunch of us actually looked into this a couple of months ago. But we were actually looking to find a way to pull the code name from the system that the minion's running on, versus just like having your your like dictionary here of
right
versions, right? Because
but this is the way
going to get
Linux does it
ridiculous.
even.
And you need, oh really?
Yeah, they have an OS family map that says if you're Debian, then you're also, or if you're Ubuntu, you're also a Debian derivative. It's hard coded into Salt.
Yeah,
that's why I figured, yeah, maybe it's not so bad. And when there's a Mac release, we just add one more.
Yeah, I was trying to do it so we could avoid such things.
I would love to do that too, but I was looking at sysctl and I was looking for any command that gave out Catalina as a command.
There's a GitHub issue actually for this.
Oh, really?
And I posted. There's some weird PyObjective-C code that you can use to like grab it, but
I was wondering, like, is there a way to get it? Because it exists right here. I can see about this Mac, Catalina. Where is that string?
I think that's an image. I'm
That's
like
an-
90%
oh yeah, because I
positive
can't.
that's an image.
Oh, so horrible.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the way to do it.
Let me see if I can find that.
But in any case, OS codename will exist in, unless we find a better way to do it. This is how it'll work in Sodium. You'll have a
Yeah, and
codename.
that's fine. But let me see.
And there's some grains that were hard coded, like this PS. And OS was hard coded, but I switched it to being, if this seems okay to you, wherever I just was. Oh, shoot, I lost it. Yeah, the OS is now this first string, Mac OS or OS X or Mac OS X.
Wait, sorry. Say that again.
I changed the OS string. Instead of being hard coded Mac OS, I changed it to be one of these three, depending on which.
Oh, yeah, that looks
If
I
that
mean, that
makes
looks
sense.
right for when they were. Yeah.
But I'm having trouble finding those things programmatically. There's sysctl, and then there's a couple other commands. System profiler, that takes forever to run.
Yeah, you can. So with System Profiler, you can narrow it down to specific, like data tables. If you know which one you're looking for, but
right.
and then you can
I tried
like
grabbing through it for Catalina, and it's not in the profiler.
yeah.
It's annoying. And some grains do use the profiler, I think, already.
Yeah, there's some stuff.
I think that's how I got the GPU, because I don't think there was a GPU grain for Insult.
I just posted the issue in the Slack channel.
Okay. But yeah, there's a GPU grain now too. I'm pretty sure that's new. Hopefully I didn't redo it. Okay.
And then like a little bit down below, I have the, oh wow, this was almost a year ago now. But yeah, you can see where some lovely Objective-C code.
Oh, is that what the OS finger should? I don't understand what the OS finger was. Because what should it be? I just made it that full string. Wherever it went. I keep losing where that file was that I had open. There we go. I just made it this full string was what I called OS finger, but that's not what it is in Linux. What is this?
I don't know what the -10 there is. That's weird.
Is that the oh, is that this version?
Yeah, that would be the actual OS version.
Yeah. Wherever the -10 is coming from. Or maybe that was just copied from Linux and it was like, here, this is the format we're looking for.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
Well, this is helpful.
Yeah, I would just make sure that that at least there's some way to have a that version number as a list, which I think is what the.
This would have been helpful yesterday.
Oh yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's fine. I was waiting for the Mac working group to kind of launch this to the world. The other grains that I have on Linux I don't have on Mac. Let me see over here. Oh, I'm in the middle of developing my Linux grains. So they're kind of broken right now. Is I had a BIOS version number. Should I care about getting the grains exactly the same?
I would
Let's see.
just make sure that the grain like key name is the same,
So that
because
we,
like right now on Macs, the serial number is like system_serial number. And then on
oh, should
Windows,
it be
it's just
something
like
different?
serial number. So
Oh,
that was like really weird.
yeah, sure. Why have it be system serial number? We'll change that right now.
Yeah, that's what I thought was just like really odd.
Oof. Any other ones that are odd? I'm having
I think
trouble
that was the
getting
only one that
disks.
differed between OS.
Yeah, I'm having trouble
Um,
collecting my information about my hard drive.
You can use the disk-util
Okay. Make a note of
command
that
line
right here.
tool.
And let's see, another one that I was curious about. Oh, OS like. That's another grain that's for Linux. Should I say that BSD is in the OS like, or do I just put the different to macOS versions?
What
For
is
Linux,
that?
it would say like Ubuntu is like Debian, Red Hat is like Fedora and like CentOS.
Sorry, I just got pinged from somebody in the office real quick. All right. Okay, so you were saying like OS like, is that what?
Yeah.
What is that supposed to be?
For Linux, it would say Red Hat is like Fedora and CentOS, or Ubuntu is like Debian.
What's the output look like on those machines, like on those OSs?
It'd be just like this, only right here it would say CentOS, Fedora, Red Hat.
Oh, yeah, I think what you have there is fine.
Mac is fine. Is it like BSD, or is Mac different enough that I count them as different?
I would say they're different.
Okay, that was my question.
I don't know. Maybe add Darwin in there. I don't
Because the
know.
kernel's Darwin.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Is
That's
that
probably the last thing. Is that
Tyler,
what?
is that a standard grain or is that something you just added?
It's based on it's based on these.
So it's something new that you've added into Corn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's existed in a way, and sometimes it happened to get collected by Core on some OSs. And so now I'm just like, if it's going to be there, it's going to be there. I'm trying to have consistent output between the different kernels.
I've never seen that grain before.
Oh. I think you have to have dist-utils installed, because there's one grain that gets things from one package if you have it, or from a different thing if you have it. Anyway, there's grains. That's all we have. I'll hit you up, Wes, when when I'm doing services.
Recently we've had a lot of trouble with oh goodness gracious, this is what I get for going on vacation and then coming back and having to think.
How brave to go on vacation.
Oh yeah, no, I was on a cruise ship last week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I survived.
Good.
Well, what's the current network Python module that you use to grab most of the like the host name and the local host name and all that fun stuff?
ifconfig or socket.
Oh yes, the socket library.
There you
So
go.
we've noticed a bunch of weird issues with that taking a really long time.
me too. And it gets the wrong thing sometimes. Like returns a bunch of zeros as.
Yes.
Uh,
So
I'm happy to fix
for
it.
on macOS, so there's like 3 different host names. There's computer name, host name, and local host name. And you can gather all that info just by using just by shelling out with is it scutil?
Host name, local host name, and what? And FQDN maybe?
No, computer name.
Oh, what's that? Should that be another grain?
Yeah.
Or would that be
so
like the
there's-
machine ID or node name? Because node name exists on Linux and I couldn't figure out what it was on Mac.
So the computer name would be like if you go into system preferences on your computer and then go to sharing.
Oh, I see it. It is completely different.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then you can do stuff like
And what was the command?
I'm grabbing it for you right now.
Oh, perfect.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, this is good. That means, and there'd be no point, I'd say, in fixing these by salt because they'd get in by the next release, which by the next release, anything grains related is going to come from here.
Sweet.
So this would be the place to fix it.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like, ooh, I've been thinking about trying to do this. So, and then you can do, what is it, local host name? You can just change the option on the end. And computer name.
What did I do wrong? Sorry, while you were thinking of that, I was like,
Oh, you're still trying to debug that? In the salt macOS channel, I have the command in there.
What did I do? Oh, I control C instead of command C.
Oh, that's fun.
I don't have a host name.
Yeah, you want to do like you can do -- get, and then either local host name or computer name, and it'll have to be camel case. As well as the name.
Oh,
The end of name, yeah.
nice. Okay. Cool. And just for fun, I have to be root to do those?
I am 90% positive. Nope.
No.
Are
That's
you?
handy.
You're not root?
I'm not root. So look, I'll show you how easy that is. So now if I want to extend that grain, I'm over here in FQDN. Sure. Async def load computer name hub. Hub.corn.corn.computer name equals await hub.exec.command.run. I hope this is helpful. See how
This is like the best way for me to learn. I think this is great.
perfect. It's just like I don't want to drag the meeting on if you guys are like, yeah, it's
Nope.
come
Nope.
on,
This
Tyler.
is totally cool.
And I have to put
Because this is fixing some things. I've been like, man, I should really fix this in core. But this is basically doing that. So
yeah. And now I have a computer name grain.
Oh, that is so dope.
That easy. And you can submit a PR to Pop Darwin, and it doesn't have to affect the rest of core.py.
The rest of core.
That?
Yeah. No, thank you. I don't want to be responsible for any of that crap breaking.
The only tricky thing here that I would point out is when you await something, you have to put the whole await statement inside of parentheses. Otherwise, it'll think you're trying to grab standard out from the coroutine instead of from the results of the await, which is weird.
Okay. That's good to know. So would we want to make a new function for every single one of these, or should we just like add more data into each function?
For organization, and because it's async, we just say go gather all the grains, and then some of them come back faster, some slower.
Okay.
So yeah, every grain into its own function unless they depend on each other.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so these are only in the same function because FQDNS is a result of these two.
Nice. Me likey. This is pretty dope.
It is pretty dope. We're all pop heads now.
Yeah, pop. Thanks, Tom. Giving us a little pop.
And another thing, we're eventually switching to this with salt, but everything is blacked.
Oh yeah.
All the code.
Oh hell, I hate double quotes, but oh well.
I know. I mean,
I'll
you can write
die.
single
Oh,
quotes
well.
and then just black will change them.
Oh, and then black will change them over. Yeah. Oh goodness gracious.
It's taken some getting used to because sometimes I like my code being vertical because, we're all used to programming in salts. So I'm like, okay, this needs to be vertical, nice, and make sure I format it exactly like this. And I think this looks better, but then I go black and then it's like, well, screw you. I'm actually doing it the other way.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Damn those
so it does
black
take some
people.
getting used to.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds terrible. Don't want to say that.
I do like running black dot as a command. It makes me feel like a pirate.
Arg.
Black dot. Cool. So that's the computer name grade. We have it now.
I like it.
Any other grains you want? Yeah, just point me to all the issues and grains that you want to fix on Mac. Because that's pretty much what I'm doing this week. Full time.
Honestly, I think the serial number and then so are you still going to use the socket module you're still using the socket module for stuff? Yes, clearly right there.
Yeah, FQDN. I want to use it for as few things as possible, though.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like... I almost think the FQDN would be the local host name.
Plus the domain. Is there another way for me to get the domain?
No, I don't think that's going to be... It's only those three, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, it is only those three. Oh, reports the current DNS configuration?
Yeah, I would use this for getting most stuff, especially since with the way POP is set up and how it's like pretty much just specific to macOS. I would use this over socket.
Right. Because we wanted to, in core.py, we want it to be simple and work between every OS, and it'd be too complicated to say if macOS, do it a completely different way if this command exists.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was just like, oh man, this is so nasty, and I don't want to make a pull request for this.
I understand. Because then something will break. I mean, there's some OS that you didn't consider, and
yep. Oh goodness.
Well, this is the way now.
I like it.
So how do I broadcast that to the broader Mac group? I was hoping more people would be in here, but maybe we can say it in the channel.
Yeah, I would
If
just
you're
do it in the
making any
channel.
changes to grains, then this is the way it's happening now.
Yeah. No, I think that channel is just the way to go.
Okay.
And there's some, let me get you is it macadmins.org? And then there is so in that Slack group,
Yeah.
there's a salt channel for other like Mac folks
Oh.
that might not use salt all the time, but like they know Macs really well, but might not know salt really well. So that would be like another good resource.
That is good to know. I will. Yeah, I'll definitely hit that up later. And I should post them there as well as on Slack
Yeah, sure.
and say this is the way grains are now.
Yeah.
Please destroy it or give a PR.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I want other people to look at this. And we should be fixing everything in grains that's broken, like socket
Yeah,
taking forever.
Because there's like there's 105 people in that
Oh,
that
wow.
channel in the Mac admins group.
Oh, good. Well, that's almost our full hour just talking about grains.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, any other grain things you want me to fix? Now is the time to send them over.
Yeah, I'll look through our code that we have and see what. Oh, I know. Username and like console username. Right now, username or user is whoever is initiating the process. So it's like always root on Macs. But it would be nice to know what the actual like user of the machine is. And we just call that console user. I think that's in the Mac utils library in Salt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The different utils, those will come over slowly.
Yeah, I made it a util because it changes every once in a while. Like it might change depending on like if someone's using the machine and it's like logged out. So I'm not sure if we'd want that as an actual grain or not.
Well, then just say logged out if they're.
Yeah, because the console user would be like root if they're logged out, if that makes sense.
Well,
Where is
cool. Tommy, Gareth, any other grains? Yeah, and there's a lot more we can go about for pop, what's happening under the hood, like why I can just declare a function here and then it gets collected and ran. That's a whole different discussion for
Oh yeah. Is
the
there
other day.
Is there like a disk encryption grain for other OSs?
There's SE Linux. That's not quite the same thing, but that would be. I could definitely see how that's helpful because. Yeah, you want to report which of your systems have encrypted disks.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof, that's a new to-do.
I'll save you some time and just give you the code. You can make it
You can pauperize it.
Yeah, you can pauperize it.
corn is just a placeholder. We might just end up just calling it grains or grains 2.0 or something else.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was
At first,
like,
oh, corn's the
everyone
greatest
says
idea,
corn.
but then someone was like, oh, there's too many easy, inappropriate jokes you can make with this. I'm like, okay, fine. Probably best to
damn it.
move from it then.
Taking
all
all the
adults.
fun away.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen.
Sweet. Well, Tyler, thanks for dropping by and showing us a little popcorn.
Yeah, thanks for letting me hijack the working
Yeah,
group.
no, this was extremely fun for me.
Perfect.
So, Tommy, Garrett, good to see you. You alive down there in SoCal?
Mostly.
Are you guys on like full
Stop sharing.
full quarantine?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, same here. Well, everybody, thanks for dropping by. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next month.
Sounds good.
Later. Have a good week.
Bye, everyone.
Yep.